Hello, everyone. My name's Angela, for those of you that don't know me, and thank you for being part of my YouTube channel. I'm really happy to have you here. And I want to talk about how our skin can change as we age as females, especially as we enter into that period of time in our 40s and mid 50s. And we notice changes to the skin on our face, possibly around other areas of our body. And we wonder if there's some things that we can do to help either slow down this process or just make it so that we feel more healthy and vibrant as we age. And I know this is quite concerning for some women. Some women tell me that they notice that their skin is getting quite a bit drier as they notice it kind of flaking off around their cheeks or in that kind of T-zone, in between the eyebrows, nose, and kind of around this area. Some women notice they have combination skin where they're having dryness in one area and still having some acne in other areas. And this is troubling to them as they get into their 40s and early 50s as to why this is potentially still happening for them. And beyond the face, sometimes women are noticing changes to their skin in other places. I know a lot of women do report changes around the backs of their arms, often around the upper thighs, sometimes around the neck. I know some women tell me they feel like they've got what they call turkey neck. It's just loosening off, and they're noticing not only skin, but wrinkles and changes with lines, often horizontally across the neck. And they want to figure out ways that they can help to optimize their skin health and their overall health and wellness through aging. And I want to let women know that you don't necessarily have to just accept that your skin is going to change necessarily significantly as you age. And there is some things that you can do, especially if you are in your 40s or early 50s, to help you optimize your skin tone and its vibrance and health as you age. And I also know that for some women, this is very problematic. They don't feel good when they're not looking good in their skin. Some women tell me they don't even want to look in the mirror at their skin. They find that it's red or it's bumpy or it's uneven. And they said they don't feel attractive and they just don't feel confident in themselves. And so we know that this can be really affecting your overall feeling of your self-esteem and just in general, how you present to the world. And so there are some things you can do that are natural. I want to let you know as well. I know some women do go for techniques such as Botox and treatments in that regard. And of course, if you want to do that, you can. But I also think that it's important for women to know and understand that there are some natural ways to start healing your skin and getting it feeling better and potentially better and better as you age. It doesn't have to be a downhill slide of feeling like you're getting more wrinkles, and just having your skin look more basically aged and unhealthy. And so what can we do to help optimize our skin health as we age? I think it's really important for us to first understand what the top 3 root causes are of our skin changes as we age. And some of them aren't necessarily what you would think. So one of the main causes that I find, and this does seem to accelerate year by year as we age, and this often has to do with the skin looking either more uneven. You might have some redness around the cheeks, around the nose area, maybe even up in this area. You might notice that if you take a really close look at your skin, there's even like some kind of fine red lines, like little capillaries and things like that maybe never used to be there. And so these types of changes to our skin, where it looks kind of blotchy, uneven, and just, generally not that nice of a skin tone, is often related to chronic inflammation in the body. Our skin really is our biggest reflection, I find, of our overall health and wellness, but it's usually not the root cause of why we have the skin issues in the first place. So if you do have some of those symptoms, you might even have some acne that goes along with it, or that combination skin, like I was describing, dry in one area, yet kind of red or oily in other areas. We want to be thinking of what's happening with your overall health. And so when I talk about chronic inflammation, what I'm speaking about is the balance in our bodies between what we're bringing in from a food and lifestyle perspective versus what our body is able to balance in regards to inflammation. And so quite commonly, the most common reasons that we have chronic low grade or even higher grade inflammation have to do with the foods we're bringing in and often toxins from our environment. So we need to be thinking, if we're eating foods that are high in simple carbohydrates, high in sugar, high packaged processed foods, possibly a lot of red meat, wheat, dairy, those kinds of things that are still whole foods. But when you eat them in high amounts often, they can become pro-inflammatory. So if this is you and you have something like this with your diet, and then in addition to that, you might be bringing in or putting products on your skin, it might be makeup, might be things for your skin health, might be things for your hair, might be things like even dyeing your hair. There's so many different products that I find as females that we put on our body throughout our lifetime. And this stuff seeps in through our skin. And if there is some toxins in it, it definitely can trigger inflammation in the body as well. So find this is also one of the common causes of chronic inflammation and how it builds and builds over time. The more of this stuff that we're exposed to over our lifetime, especially as females, even things like cleaning products, we're maybe exposed to it from touching it on our skin, but we're also exposed to the toxicity of some of these products, depending on what we're using. So we want to be thinking of how can we start to optimize our chronic inflammation and get it back into balance? Because I see when I work with females on diet and lifestyle choices that one of the first places that I see improvement in them is in their skin health. So, our skin health isn't going to come from what we put on the outside in, it's going to come more from the inside out. So it'd be thinking, can you start to eat a healthy whole foods diet, plant-based, maybe some animal-based foods if you do enjoy eating that, but you really want to make sure you're bringing in lots of plants, lots of vegetables, antioxidants, lots of fiber. That's something that's really going to help to balance your inflammation in your body, and it's very natural. So one of the other most common root causes that I do find of skin imbalances, especially as we age, has to do with imbalances in our gut health, in particular in the gut microbiome. So what the gut microbiome is it's a balance of our good bacteria relative to our unfavorable bacteria. And there can be many, many reasons why our gut microbiome as females in this age can become, or might already have been for a long time, out of balance. But what happens with estrogen levels as we age is our estrogen levels gradually go down, and this is normal. But one thing that estrogen does do for us as females is it actually does support our digestion and movement of the breakdown of our foods through our gut into the large intestine. So as estrogen levels lower, our digestion sometimes also slows, and quite commonly we will have a bit more vulnerability to a buildup of bacteria that is unfavorable in our gut, even if we're eating a fairly healthy diet. So we do have to be mindful and aware of this. And if we do have an imbalance in our gut microbiome, we also have what's called the skin microbiome, and they reflect each other. And the skin microbiome, like what I was speaking about before with the chronic inflammation, it comes from the inside out versus the outside in. So if we have an imbalanced gut microbiome, we're probably going to have an imbalanced skin microbiome. And it's more that way versus the other way around. So we need to figure out how to address it. So not unlike chronic inflammation, one of the main ways that we can address our gut microbiome health and get the bacteria more balanced, so we have more of the good guys as far as bacteria versus the bad guys, and again, this transfers to our skin microbiome, is to make sure that we're eating a healthy whole foods diet. So we want to be eating a diet that's high enough in fiber that feeds the good bacteria. We want to make sure that, again, we're not bringing in too much as far as toxic products onto our skin, into our body, being mindful of the types of foods, organic if possible, not bringing in foods that are high and laden in herbicides and pesticides, because this will destroy a lot of our beneficial bacteria in our gut. And so these are some things that we can have control over right away to start getting the balance back in our skin health. And again, once I do see women that I work with addressing the gut microbiome health and getting the balance back, I notice a vibrance and a more even tone to their skin. And many women, if they do have that kind of combination skin where they're getting even some acne in their 40s or early 50s, typically notice it clear right up. And it's so obvious and nice to see. And then one of the other imbalances, or I'd say root causes of skin imbalances as you get older, is something that we cannot ignore. And like I said, that is lowering of estrogen levels and also lowering of our collagen levels, that collagen production. So if you do notice, again, kind of loosening of the skin around the neck, around the back of the arms, the upper thighs, a little bit more wrinkles and lines coming in around the eyes, part of that, no doubt, is related to the combination of the lowering of collagen production and estrogen production in the body. And we can't necessarily change this aging process. It is what it is. But what we can is be aware of some things that we can do to help enhance our collagen production as we age, optimize our estrogen as much as possible with a healthy lifestyle as we age. So some things that we can do, for example, are bringing in foods that actually contain some collagen in them or that support collagen production. So a lot of antioxidants from plants will really support our collagen production as we age. Healthy fats as well. So a diet high in omega-3s, definitely things like fish. If you're a vegetarian, if you're vegan, you can bring in things such as algae instead, nuts and seeds as well. So these are things that are going to enhance collagen production, and they will help with that look of the skin on the outside. The other thing that you can do is you can start to make sure that you're bringing in foods that are powerful phytoestrogens. And so that will support the amount of estrogen circulating in your body as a female as your natural production levels drop. So foods such as non-GMO fermented tofu or soy, even tempeh is a good one for this. Edamame beans, being really mindful of the source, making sure they're coming from a clean source. Flax seeds, very powerful phytoestrogen. You can grind them up, put them in your smoothies, put them in various different meals or breakfasts or baking that you're making. Other nuts and seeds as well. So there is some ways to support healthy estrogen levels, enhance collagen production as we age. And so to me, these are some of the most common root causes of why we have skin disruption as we age as females. And all of these things are things that we can do something about naturally. And like I said, the women that I work with in the programs that I run for functional medicine do see almost immediate results when they start addressing these areas of their body with their skin. And it's so obvious because, again, you can see it on the outside, how quickly the healing process can take place. So if you're looking to find out more information about this and how I could help you with your skin health as you start to get into your 40s, mid 50s and beyond, please feel free to reach out to me. You can connect with me to book a discovery call, and it is about a 45-minute call where we will discuss your health history, and we'll also discuss if it potentially could be a good fit for us to work together to help you work towards optimal wellness in this time of life as a female. And if you're able to, I really look forward to seeing you again on my YouTube videos, and I hope you will watch my next one coming live soon. Okay, thanks very much. It's nice to see you.